Straight chilling, bro.
Welcome back to the More Sports Please podcast. The intro was "We straight chillin', bro." I'm your co-host Herbert. Say hi to the other two. Yeah,
Hi.
Howdy.
Both of them have pissed me off going into this podcast more so the one in the orange and the one in the green. But let's get into it.
Perfect.
The NFL news. Alex Smith said he was done.
Fun fact: Alex Smith played his first game.
That's awesome. He played his first game.
His first game and his last game in Lincoln Financial Field.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
The Eagles are a trash organization.
I know. To anyone who's listening, Herbert is extremely pissed off because
Because somebody wanted, because the stupid one in the Wi-Fi shirt said that the Steelers are gonna finish last in the AFC North with Big Ben at quarterback.
Yes.
He said, "I don't think that's very much of a hot take."
It's not.
It is the hottest of the takes. It's one of the hottest takes I've ever heard. Mike Tomlin has never in his history of his head coaching career had a losing season.
Okay,
whether it's Big Ben at quarterback, Duck Hodges at quarterback, Charlie Batch, Dennis Dixon, Michael Vick, my dog, my cat, me, my jerseys, it doesn't matter.
There was never a 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but if the 16 seed, if the one seed was coached by Mike Tomlin, they wouldn't have lost.
Well, the
basketball and football are two completely different things. Literally any given night you can win in a basketball game.
Yeah, you're right. In football, it's easier for upsets to happen.
No. In basketball, especially March Madness, it's extremely unrare for upsets not to happen. It's extremely rare for upsets not to happen.
Well, yeah, because there's 64 teams.
So a 16 seed was going to eventually beat a 1 seed. You're a coach throughout its history of time. There's not a given point where you're bound to have a losing season. It's just not like that. If you're a head coach and it sticks, yes, it can, but the likeliness of his track record, being able to win with a guy like Duck Hodges at quarterback and Mason Rudolph at quarterback, and Dennis Dixon, and Charlie Batch, and Michael Vick, and Landry fucking Jones? You can't tell me Mike Tomlin. No, they're not!
Look. Mike Tomlin is an extremely great coach. He's like a top 3, top 5 coach in the NFL. I 100% agree with you on that. Yeah. He has been super consistent, super good, and if I had to put money on it, he is going to be super good again. That roster is still good, and the Steelers should still have a really long season. The fact of the matter is it's a possibility that a team could disappoint in 1 year or another, and the Steelers have lost some players. Big Ben's getting up there in years. Just because Tomlin's there at coach doesn't mean that it can't happen. I have ringing in my ear now. I don't know why.
You know what else is a possibility? For me to go in my bathroom, shit, and forget to wipe. But do I forget to wipe? No.
Look. I'm just saying, this is why you practice, this is why you have training camp, this is why you play the games. You don't go out there and just win on paper all the time.
With Mike Tomlin as coach, is not winning on paper. He does these practices. He does these training. He goes out there. He trains a squad. He has control of the locker room, no matter who's in it. He can coach 6th graders and bring them out there and beat 12th graders, and I upset Gavin.
I'm just saying. You play the games. Crazy things have happened in the NFL. Crazy things have happened in every sport. It is a possibility. Do I expect it? No, not at all. I still think the Steelers are going to have a winning record this year, and they should still be good. I'm just saying it is possible that it could happen. That is all.
My point is, my point isn't that it's not going to happen. My point is it's a hot take.
Okay,
it's a warm take.
No, it's Spice King Cam hot take.
Well, I feel like you only have to do worse than one team. Because I think the Browns and Ravens are going to be 1 and 2. I don't know which one is going to be in that
Okay,
division.
you want me to give my predictions unbiasedly? My unbiased predictions: Browns #1. Their team is stacked. I get it. Jadeveon Clowney won't be as big as factor as everybody else, but man, that team is stacked. They'll get somebody in the draft. I think Baker Mayfield kind of has a digress year, but I think Nick Chubb comes out and tries to show that he deserves to be paid. Browns at 1. Grant, maybe let's say what 12-4 is probably solid.
12-5.
12-5. Yeah, sorry, extra game.
13-4.
13-4, 12-5, right there. I think Pittsburgh follows closely second, but not too close. I'm not going to give them 1 or 2 games. I think it's 3, maybe 2 or 3 games. I'm not going to give them 1 game behind them. I'm not going to tie them and have Cleveland have the tiebreaker. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 game gap. And I think Baltimore, if not tied with us, will have a 1 game behind us. Baltimore, I think Lamar kind of has a digress here. Obviously, Ben's going to have a digress here. I think all the quarterbacks, aside from Burrow, he can't really digress from having a season-ending injury. I think all the quarterbacks kind of digress with that extra game, not knowing how to play in it. Lamar still doesn't have any receivers. Ben's still Ben. He's getting old, but I mean, he needs. We were 32nd, not 32nd, but we were in the 30 to 32nd, 29, 30, 31 in the running game. I get it. Blah, blah, blah. We need an O-line. Mendenhall was able to run with a terrible O-line. Did anybody see that? You know who else was able to run with terrible O-lines? Willie Parker. So, maybe, just maybe, I get Connors from Pittsburgh, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't as good as the Steelers fans made him out to be. I get it. A lot of Steelers fans hate him. But maybe Connor was the problem. Maybe our running game is the problem. People say, don't draft a running back in the first round. Running backs are the most replaceable position in the league. I get it. Derrick Henry, first-round running back, correct?
Yes.
I think he was a second rounder.
I thought he was first.
I don't remember.
Okay, take away Derrick Henry so we don't know. Christian McCaffrey, 100% first-round running back, correct?
Yes.
Saquon
Barkley.
Zeke.
3 of the top. These are arguably the 3 best running backs in the league. The whole don't draft a running back in the first round is out the window. If Najee Harris is on the board when the 24th pick comes, take him. I'm sorry, what?
Look at how the teams are. Well, I guess the Titans are doing better, but that was more of the coaching change, if anything. Because that running back's not gonna push you over a hump. I don't.
No,
think.
it won't.
Edge,
but I don't think sending a rookie center into a bad O-line situation is going to push us over the fucking hump either. I think a veteran is going to do better than I get it. BJ Finney's not the best, but I don't think the all-in on linemen in the first round is what we need to do. The second round and third round, this O-line class is deep. Don't pull the trigger of an O-lineman yet.
Okay.
There's a gap in running backs. It's Najee, Travis, and Javonte, I think his name is. The guy out of North Carolina. It's a bit of a gap. Trey Sermon don't know how healthy he's gonna be. It's because he got hurt in that bowl game,
this
right?
draft too. It's kind of more of a crapshoot of a draft than ever before, just because of how little we know about a lot of players.
Right. And a lot of that Steelers defense is coming back. I get it though. Bud Dupree was a big hit to take when he got hurt. Kind of was our anchor, and after he got hurt, we kind of fell apart. But it's just Bud Dupree out. Alex Highsmith has gotten some time in the defense. He might be able to hold his own. We've kept a lot of those pieces on defense, except for Mike Hilton, but we kept Cam Sutton. So I mean, bring some of the guys up. Our defense is still a rock. We just now need somebody to carry said rock.
I think I'm in agreement. I'm kind of in the. I think opinion on if it was a hot take, though, is just a matter of like if we were to, in terms of spicy levels, that's not. I think that is more than you put some Frank's hot sauce on your eggs and you have your breakfast in the morning with a little kick to it. But I don't think it's quite, go Steve-O mode and snort wasabi up your nose or anything.
Who invited Colin Cower in here with these fucking metaphors?
Listen, dog. I'm just having a good time. We're here having fun.
I'm telling you, I think it's Asian Zing type level hot.
I think
it's not going to fuck you up in the it's not going to fuck you up in the beginning. It's the aftermath you have to worry about.
I think
it's
the way I see
your
it,
ass is ripping. You're shitting for days with Asian Zing.
I'm just saying. The AFC North, I think, honestly, I know there's a debate on them and the NFC West. I think this year the AFC North could be the most competitive division in football. And could the Bengals break out this year? I think there's a decent possibility as long as Burrow stays protected and the defense takes a step up, because we lost a lot of close games last year. If we could just clutch up on some of those, I think the Bengals could rocket up the standings. As far as the rest of the division goes, everyone was pretty strong last year. We had 3 teams in the division with double-digit wins. Does that happen again with the same exact teams? I'm not sure. And if it does, if that happens to be the case, I think the Ravens and the Steelers, you can make a case either of them have a little bit of a regression compared to last year. I think the Browns are going to be really good, and I think they should be the favorites to win the division.
Browns haven't lost anybody, really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've only been getting better.
Yeah,
they've only been getting better.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore lost key players. Pittsburgh and Baltimore both have 2 of the hardest schedules in the league going into this coming season. So they've got that against them as well. So the fact that I think we'll be able to compete with each other, but there's Cleveland's going to have this division by a bit.
I think it could be. I wouldn't be. I think it's a fairly hot take for the idea of the Steelers finishing last, but I don't think it's too terrible, because off the top of my head, I could really see, unbiased opinion, Browns win 12, 13 games this year. Ravens and Steelers each finish with about 9 or 10 wins, and then maybe the Bengals come in behind around 8 or so wins. I think they could be pretty competitive this year and maybe contend for one of those spots in the wild card in the AFC. But that's going to be a tough ask because the AFC is very tough top to bottom.
See, I've noticed this. There's a trend, and it's happened every year with me. I'm always battling people about my goddamn team. When I try to talk about other people, when I talk to Joseph about his Patriots, he's like, yeah, it might be a down year because we don't have Brady, but, maybe 7 wins. Motherfucker, I go into the season, no matter who we got, I think we win 11 or 12.
Well, yeah.
I talk to you, Gavin, I'm like, how you think you're going to do? And you're like, our quarterback situation, our GM doesn't know how to draft, maybe 4 wins.
I'm always optimistic, and I'm always gonna, root for the Eagles to win, obviously. But I also have to be realistic that we are not a well-run organization right now. I just gotta.
That could also just be the outlook Gavin and I have kind of gotten over the years, and we kind of like interject that into all of our discussions with stuff, because it's like I feel like, rightfully so, since you've been rooting for the Steelers forever, it's like you have an expectation for your team to do really well every year, and they're consistently one of the best in the league. Eagles and Bengals have done pretty well at different stretches of time. The Bengals were a strong team in the early 2010s. Eagles obviously won a Super Bowl. But we've had some rough patches in there, of course, too. So we kind of have that not necessarily glass half empty approach, but kind of like we've seen things go to hell pretty quickly, and it's just kind of like sometimes we got to be like, hold up. Let's pump the brakes for a second. Crazy things can happen.
I just want to point this out, aside from the discussion. Offenbacher, you were talking, but your mouth was not fluent with your words. Your mouth was going slower than you talking, but it's caught up now.
The video messes up sometimes. That's Discord for you.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's true, but I'm just used to winning. Even 8-8 seasons, I'm like, that sucks. But It's better than 7-9.
Yeah.
8-8.
Yeah.
8-8 and almost making playoffs with Duck Hodges at quarterback. I don't know what else to say. Duck Hodges is out of Samford. Not Stanford, Samford.
Yeah.
He has a animal in his name. He quacks. And he throws the
I'm
ball.
optimistic. I'm always going to be optimistic. I'm always going to try to convince myself that the moves we make are the right moves. But, that's just the kind of thing that happens when you're a fan. But you also have to you have to do some self-reflection about.
And I mean, you know from conversations with me over the last few years, I've looked at it through the perspective of, I recognize our team on paper maybe isn't the strongest there, but I usually go into a mindset of every year I expect this team to improve. I always call for the Bengals to finish stronger than maybe they've ended up being over the last couple of years, but it's just kind of, it's kind of being realistic, but also trying to stay optimistic about things.
And I'm trying to be realistic, and I think I am being realistic, but this Steelers team just isn't bad. I get Ben's up there in age. He had a terrible playoff game with the 4 picks, but I mean, he was still cooking. He was still slinging that ball. He threw for over 500 yards. I get he was playing from behind, but I mean, he was still slinging the ball. If Pouncey doesn't throw that snap over his head, game goes completely different way.
Completely different.
I don't think it's as bad as it gets, but that ball going over Ben's head killed Pittsburgh's morale. And then when Ben walks out there to try to regroup, he throws a pick, and then it goes downhill from there. If Pittsburgh goes out on their first drive and scores, then Cleveland comes out on their first drive and scores, I don't think Ben is in the mindset of, oh, damn, I'm down 7-0. I've got to sling this ball to places where I have to make it fit. He can get the run game to try to work. Granted, it probably wouldn't have, but he could try to get it to work.
I get you. I think it's just...
But he also should be smarter about that, considering how long he's been in the league, And I think he knows what he's doing. It's just his physical attributes are deteriorating, and I think you can watch that in the game. So that's what worries me about Pittsburgh, is that I don't think they're a bad team at all. It just worries me, and I don't think you have to be a bad team to finish last in the AFC North.
Yeah, I think it's another one of those divisions that it's the opposite of the NFC East last year, where every team was pretty bad, and it was like, someone's got to finish first. Someone's got to win this division. AFC North, I think, is the opposite. I think the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns, more so Ravens and Browns if injuries destroy them. But, if the Bengals or Steelers, I think either of them could finish with, 8 wins or something and still be last in the North. It's a very tough division overall. And just maybe 1 or 2 games don't go one team's way, and I think it's just kind of, Gavin and I aren't saying, oh, the Steelers are going to finish last or anything like that. It's just kind of that is a possibility. It could happen. Who knows?
I'm going to be honest with you, Chief. I think there's a different possibility that is more likely to happen than that. If the Browns go in the next season with Odell Beckham in that starting lineup, they won't be as good as they were last year.
I can see that.
Without Beckham, they were better. If Beckham plays all 17 games, they don't win that division.
To be honest, I can kind of see what you're saying. I've had that thought to myself at times of what should they do once it comes time to figure out what to do with OBJ, because he's an extremely great talent, but I think I don't know. It kind of depends on the whole thing with the chemistry and the mesh of the team and stuff. Who knows? Maybe there was a reason that they improved. Maybe it was just they weren't in the groove yet, and they just happened to be that way, and the Browns would have been even better with Odell. My screen is frozen.
Yeah. Hello?
Okay.
He said, okay.
I'm back.
I don't think they'd be as good as they can be if Odell stays on that roster. Active on that roster.
I don't know about that. I mean, I see where you're coming from. I'm not just disagreeing to disagree. I legitimately.
Gavin is wearing orange, so he has to be a Browns fan for the episode.
I feel like OBJ has become a little bit overhated at this point in his career. I mean, he can still be like a top wide receiver in this league. I just don't feel like he's necessarily going to hold the Browns back next season, you know?
I think he will. He wants the ball too much. And I think Baker is terrible when he has to throw the ball this way.
This way.
To his left. And if Odell bitches and moans and wants the ball and blah, 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 Baker's going to try to force it.
And then maybe OBJ has matured over this past year. We'll see.
Yeah, and maybe Antonio Brown has too.
I was going to say, I feel like part of it could be Herbert's exposure to AB. It could be part of his reason.
I feel like OBJ wasn't as bad as he used to be in terms of the whining.
Yeah, it was a lot worse in 2017, 18, whenever that was. I agree with that.
He's still whining about not getting the ball, I think, and that's just, you don't do that. You don't throw Gatorade coolers.
Gatorade coolers.
Let's get back to the topics. We've been on this for a while.
We've talked about this for 20
Nothing wrong
minutes.
with some good old banter.
Let's get back to our old guy, Alex Smith.
Banta. Alex Smith said goodbye.
The end.
But you know who didn't say goodbye? Mike Tomlin to any of his winning. Alex Smith retired as a free agent. Mm-hmm. His seasons were spent in San Francisco. He was in Washington. Kansas City. Red. He never played for anybody other than Red.
Did you hear he almost signed with Jacksonville before deciding to retire?
I would have retired.
I would have definitely retired rather than going Jacksonville. Yes.
Yeah.
But hats off to him. Me personally, I don't think he's Hall of Fame quarterback. I think he'll get in off of his injury. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't think he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
No.
I think he's definitely a guy that should be recognized and praised even outside of the injury stuff, which in and of itself, that was incredible. I mean, I'm not discrediting that at all, but
yeah.
I feel like Alex Smith has been, the Andy Dalton, even before Andy Dalton. He's just kind of the guy that doesn't really get the respect he deserves, and he's kind of just been he got moved on from so many times for people looking for greener pastures with a different quarterback, and makes me feel bad for him, but I feel like he tried to make the best of everything, so I don't know. Yep. He did a hell of a job with what he could do.
Yeah, and hats off to Alex Smith. Great career. Which leads me to go on. So speaking of Hall of Fame, we didn't write this down, but Julian Edelman retired.
Julian Edelman.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And a lot of people are talking about him being in the Hall of Fame. Based off his Super Bowl rings itself, that does play a lot of. Super Bowl rings talk a lot, but you have to sit back and kind of ponder it. Does Julian Edelman? I'm going to turn my light on.
Hi, Herbert. The question is, does Julian Edelman belong in the Hall of Fame?
Does Julian Edelman belong in the Hall of Fame? and if he does, then a guy like, I think Hines Ward belongs in it. But Hines Ward belongs in it over Julian Edelman. Reggie Wayne deserves it over Julian Edelman. A guy who will never get in, Chad Johnson, deserves it over Julian Edelman.
Agreed.
Torrey Holt, I don't believe, is in the Hall of Fame. He deserves it more than Julian Edelman.
I'm pretty sure I saw something that technically Jeremy Maclin has better stats overall in his career than Julian Edelman.
Jeremy Maclin don't deserve
it. Yeah, I know he doesn't deserve it, but I think, yeah.
In my opinion, he had a great career, yes. Super Bowl rings. He phenomenal. Played a big role in Super Bowl 49 or 51 or whatever the fuck it was, where he did the catch thing. 51. He broke. He had a lot of records or something, and he got a lot.
He
of
was
yards.
MVP of Super Bowl 53. Too.
He Super Bowl MVP. But me personally, he's definitely not first ballot.
No.
I think he gets in. Do I think he deserves it? Yes and no.
I don't think he deserves it.
He's a fantastic player, and accolades aside, he doesn't deserve it. Without Super Bowl rings, MVP, he is Super Bowl MVP. He doesn't. You're not going to get in based on numbers that he has. Guys like Calvin Johnson got in with his numbers because he was so fucking good. But Julian Edelman's not going to get in with his based on just his numbers alone. His Super Bowl MVP and his rings will get him in.
I think another thing along with that I could see people making a case for him to be in the Hall of Fame. And to be honest, down the road, I could definitely see him going in. I think with the career he's had, I think he deserves to be in, but there are some other people who have been left out of the Hall of Fame that I would want to get in before him. That's where I stand on that. I'm like, Julian, yeah, I think he should get in, but I think these other guys should get in first. But I think a big part of it that will also play the role in that, maybe to some degree, is the fact that not only did he amass some pretty decent numbers and win Super Bowl rings and Super Bowl MVP, but also kind of the fact that he was he was a quarterback in college. Like, he didn't even play wide receiver, and they just converted him, and he was just like, I'm just going to go out there and do it anyway, and he just outworked everybody and did that. Could that maybe help his case? Maybe? I don't know, though. I think it'll be a while before he gets in. I think he could get in, but I would like to see some of those other guys. But selfishly, I want Chad Johnson in the Hall of Fame. But
yeah.
I think Chad Johnson deserves to be. Go ahead. Kevin tried to talk so many times, and both of us cut him off.
I'm sorry.
I was just a little thing. I don't think. I put my opinion out there. I don't feel like he belongs in the Hall of Fame. Just looking back at his career, he was never like a top 10 receiver, in terms of like skill and that stuff. I don't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. But I do get the accolades are a big thing, and I feel like he might get in. I just don't think he should, because he's never been that elite receiver,
I don't think he's ever been an All-Pro, but has he been how many Pro Bowls has he gotten? Because I think that plays a role.
I don't think any.
I think he's been in a couple.
Maybe one or two. I don't think it's been that much.
Let's see.
But there are active players that I think deserve to be in the Hall of Fame more than he does. Guys,
he's never been a Pro Bowler.
That's what I thought. I didn't think he was ever in a Pro Bowl.
That kind of surprises me.
But guys like Larry Fitzgerald, even Antonio Brown, I think there are active guys who deserve to be in the Hall of Fame more than Julian Edelman.
I mean, Larry's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's no doubt about that.
And even before Brown got his ring, I think Brown deserved to be in the Hall of Fame. His 14 to 16 year is just insane. He was the best receiver in the league for a minute, and it could have been, before he went crazy, could have been the best receiver of all time.
Maybe. But we won't know.
We won't know, because he threw his couch off a roof and almost hit his son.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it.
Moving on from the Julian Edelman topic. Back to Mike Tomlin. Got a 3-year extension. He's back.
Yeah.
For 3 more years, so that's at least 3 more winning seasons. So And I wouldn't say 3 more winning, 3 more non-losing seasons because 8-8's kind of even. You can't go 8-8 anymore.
You can go 8-1 though.
True.
So, the draft news
Yeah. What about the draft?
that we'll talk about in a second because the Bengals got new uniforms.
Yes.
New uniforms.
They look like the Bears alternate with little tigy stripes.
They look like uniforms. I've just like.
Oh my god! That is the hottest take in the world because I don't.
I know. Hot take.
They look like uniforms. You're joking.
I am joking. Actually, they don't. They feel like it's just a different uniform. Like, I don't think I like it any better or hate it any worse. Like, it's just different. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I'll take that over, how we bashed some of the uniforms last year.
You guys are the only ones that have changed, right?
Right now, yeah. Yeah, as far as I think Herbert and I talked about this either yesterday or the day before, but the way I look at it, I think it was. I remember I told you guys a while back that I was kind of like, with the news on it, I was a little nervous just because I remember seeing some of the uniform changes that have been made, and they were like, could they have gotten an upgrade? Yeah, but some of them that came back, it was like, go back. Go back
to the drawing board.
With the Bengals uniforms, I was like, okay, I don't have a problem with our old uniforms. I like them a good bit, and I think they were pretty unique with the tiger stripes and everything, and all that stuff. Bye, Herbert. And I didn't see a major need to upgrade, but I was kind of like, if we can get a better uniform, then okay, cool. I like these ones better than the old ones. I still like the old ones. I've got half a dozen in my closet.
Yep.
But
sorry, I had to blow my nose.
Oh, you're good.
Bless you.
I like these ones a lot because they're really clean, they're fresh, they're solid. I think, Herbert and I were talking. It was like, I think they were due for a change, to change it up and make it a bit different. I like getting rid of the side paneling a little bit. I think it was nice to have a more clean, unified look in it. And at the same time, we were saying if they had to if they were going to change it, it had to be simple. Because if you started doing a bunch of weird stuff to try to enhance the tiger thing with it, it would just start looking really cartoony real quick, and it could get really bad. Yeah. So I think, given what they were trying to go for, I think they did a really good job with it.
The B logo isn't on there, is it?
No, they switched it to Bengals.
I think
they switched it to the word mark.
I think they kind of messed up on that. I would have much rather see the B. I mean, I guess that comes from me seeing the Steelers logo on the side. I just would rather see the logo instead of the wording on top because it makes it. I don't know. It just makes it look different. I don't like it.
No, I get you. There's a lot of people. I think a lot of people I've heard from that was like the number one complaint I've heard from people is that they switched from the B to the Bengals. I don't know. It could be the novelty of it for me, but I like it personally. We'll see how I feel about it, down the road. But right now, I think it looks good.
I don't know. Gavin really kind of changed my opinion in the way he described it. It's not better than the old ones, but it's not worse than the old ones.
Just different.
It's definitely not worse. It's definitely
I don't
not
know.
Worse.
It's just like it's just a Bengals uniform. It's just orange and black. I mean, it's the combination colors really. I don't like the black solid pants. That's the only my complaint are how solid the pants are. Your Color Rush uniform looks different. I don't like it. I prefer the old Color Rush uniform, but I like the new home and away. But
I like the
what?
The
white helmets.
I think once the league makes the change with the helmet rule, and I think we're getting closer to seeing that happen. I think once that happens, the Bengals will incorporate a white helmet, and you see that with the away white uniforms. Which honestly, I feel like we'll probably still wear the whites at home a bit because
why is that a color rush?
Why is what a color
why
rush?
is all white a color rush?
That was just because we had, black uniforms for home. We had
the
orange.
Opposite.
We had orange for our.
There's no color in your uniform.
It's all the colors.
Well, color rush is dead anyways. So
yeah, it did die.
I don't know. I see mine right there.
I mean, some teams kept them.
Alternates.
They're just alternates now. They're the color rush alternate, but
because we have our.
I mean, Bengals basically took the color rush design that we had, and we basically turned it into our away uniform. And
yeah, I guess it was you kind of can't. All orange would have been terrible. All black would have been. Black and orange would have been all right if you guys would have taken like what Pittsburgh did, had the black and then with maybe orange numbers or something. I don't know. That could have looked cool.
I don't know. I like these uniforms. I think they're pretty good. I'm looking forward to snagging a jersey. Obviously, I want to.
Why don't you just buy it? Why are you snagging it? Buy it.
No, steal it. Who are you gonna get?
Who am I gonna get? I need to get a Tyler Boyd jersey. My boy, I still haven't gotten him yet for some reason.
Get a Sewell jersey.
Hang on.
They drafted Jamar Chase. Get a Penny Sewell jersey.
I'm wanting to get Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. I need Joe Burrow. That's like number one on the priority list. And I'm probably thinking just whoever we get in the first round.
Get a Joe Buck Bengals jersey.
Joe Buck.
No.
Could get Chris Collinsworth.
He
played for us.
Draft news.
Yeah. It's happening, I think.
The NFL draft is indeed happening, which is insane. The next topic, a lot of teams are talking about wanting to trade out of their spot.
Yeah, that's...
The Dolphins said they were open to trading, I'm pretty sure, from 6. The Falcons said they're open to trading. The Giants said they're open to trading. The Cowboys said they're open to trading. The Eagles said they're open to trading. I think the Patriots will trade. That is my take for the draft. I think the Patriots will trade, whether it's back or front. One of them, the Patriots will trade. I think also Chicago will trade.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my two hot takes that'll happen. It is again snowing.
It is?
Yep.
Yikes.
Check the weather.
It is again snowing.
My draft hot take. Jags don't take Trevor Lawrence. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I think aren't we looking at doing that if we do another mock draft? We're doing trades this time, so kind of have some fun with it. Okay.
Not you. You're not. We are excluding you. I'm just kidding. Maybe Gavin will join us on that one.
I still have to, show off my mock draft 1.0.
Well, you missed your opportunity. Time to skip it.
Nope, I'm gonna show it right now. First overall pick, Joe Burrow.
Buddy.
But yeah, the draft is literally a week from tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, it's coming up. So don't forget the live stream we'll be having. We'll be posting it on everywhere. We'll post it on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube. We'll be live on twitch.tv/This is Herbert. Don't forget, I will post a link in the comments to our Twitch. Don't forget, it'll start at 7:45. It's lasting all the way, pick 32. It'll be me.
All the way to number 256.
All the way to Mystery Relevant. We'll have a continuous 3-day live stream every day. It'll be me, myself, and I. It'll be me, Offenbacher, Gavin, James. If you guys remember, he's been on the podcast before. He'll be there. I'm pretty sure Sean will be there. He's been on the podcast before. Joseph's working, but he said if he can get there, he'll join late. I believe as of right now, that's it.
Yep.
So the 5 or 6 of us. Meg might stop by probably. If you come, you don't have to stay for the whole time. You can show up for your team pick and leave.
No, you have to stay for the whole time.
Us 3 have to stay for the whole time. I'm sure James will stay for the whole time. But it's not. You don't have to stay for the whole time. But anyways,
he definitely doesn't have to. He can leave quick.
Yeah.
He's got the number 1 pick.
I think that's all the NFL news we had. Oh, the jerseys. You can if you're a receiver, you can wear 9 now. Let's see.
Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati specifically.
And no more preseason and no more overtime in the preseason. No more overtime in the preseason, which is I'm surprised it lasted this long. Moving on to the NHL, the National Hockey League season is wrapping up. It's coming to an end. It's only got a couple more weeks left, and the Penguins are sitting high and heavy in third place with 1 or 2 points away from second, while first and second are tied. The Flyers only have 2 points.
Yep.
Let's check a look at the East standings. I have a George Lopez website pulled up for the East standings.
Why?
Because I was TikTok had some George Lopez thing. I wanted to find out what episode it was so I could watch it.
You're making a TikTok about George Lopez.
Beep, 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 beep.
Follow him on TikTok. Make sure to follow This Is Her Boat on TikTok.
No, you doxed my TikTok! Doxed my TikTok, bro!
Way to go, son.
So the Capitals are sitting at 1 with 62 points. The Islanders are sitting at 2 with 62 points, and the Pens are sitting at 3 with 61 points. So it's a three-way race for the first place. And the Bruins have 58, so they're behind us, but not by much. The Rangers
They got 2 games in hand too, because you guys have played 46 games. They played 44. It looks like.
Shut that mouth. The Rangers are sitting at 52, 9 points behind us, and 6 points behind the Bruins, the cutoff line. Flyers sitting at 47, probably a long shot for making the playoffs. Devils, long shot for making the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure the Sabres cannot make it.
Devils have 34 points.
Speaking of the Devils, Penguins played the Devils last night. They were up 6-0.
I saw that you guys almost
going into the third period. They would know 6-1 going into the third period. The Devils scored 5 in the third period, and we scored 1, and we won. We were the first team in NHL history to ever win a game being outscored 5 to anything, being outscored by 5 goals in the third period.
Yeesh.
It's not, well, you still won, so I mean,
we did still win, but you got to keep that foot on the gas.
Yeah. Because if you're facing someone better than the Devils, it could have been made differently.
Yeah, like the Bruins, definitely not the Flyers.
Like the Flyers.
No, not like the Flyers.
You're so silly.
The Vegas Golden Knights are a point away from clinching a playoff spot because they're the most overrated franchise in the NHL.
Listen.
I'm kidding.
No.
Listen here, buddy.
We're playing hot, baby. 7 in a row.
We're playing hockey.
We're playing hockey.
We're playing hockey.
Yeah, I've been getting kind of nervous with Colorado, but they've been forced to take a pause. Got a little bit of a COVID outbreak.
They're only 2
Vegas
points behind you, and they have 2 games less played.
I know, it's because they were ahead of us, and then we passed them because we've just been playing more games than they have. But we've been playing really well.
They had a COVID outbreak?
The Avs did.
Are they not getting vaccinated?
I don't know. I mean, you could still test positive. They're probably in the process with stuff. Plus, it's probably difficult anyway since they're playing that really condensed schedule. So it's kind of hard. I'm half.
Yeah, I'm half. I'm half vaccinated. I'm half vaccinated. I get fully vaccinated May 15th.
But you know, I think we got 2 more games against the Avs and 2 games left against the Wild, and I'm a little nervous just because I feel like we kind of have to take the number 1 seed if we're going to go far. Like, I think the Avalanche and the Knights are going to play each other in the second round, but Minnesota is going to be a tough out for anyone, and I think whoever finishes second in this division is going to have a really tough, like, they could win the Stanley Cup, either of these 2 teams, but they'll have a really tough road to get there because they'd have to go through a really good playoff team in Minnesota, the other one, Colorado and Vegas, and then 2 other top 4 teams. So please, Golden Knights, keep it up. I'm scared.
The Pens' schedule for the remaining of the season have a 4-game rough stretch. So we play the Devils twice, 2 more times in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Then thank fuck we play Boston 2 more times in Pittsburgh. Because if we go to Boston, there's a big chance we don't win because we just beat Boston in Boston this year for the first time in 2017, I think, in years.
Since 2017
That might be a stretch. I don't know if it's actually 2017, but and then we go to Washington for 2 games. We go to Philly for 2 games. Then we come home to play the Sabres.
I think I'd be a little. I think the one thing I'm not nervous for Pittsburgh to miss the playoffs. They've been playing really well, and they're pretty well entrenched in a playoff spot. But if they're in seeding territory, like trying to play games to get a certain seed, I would be a little bit. I'd keep an eye on that series against the Flyers. I know the Flyers have been playing kind of rough, but I think at that point they're going to be kind of eliminated, and they'll probably just be like, "No pressure, let's go." And it's a rivalry game. So,
rest your players.
I can't say anything. We're 6-0 against the Sharks, so maybe not all rivalries are created equal.
Yeah, I know.
Bengals Steelers. Anyway.
Penguins legend Patrick Marleau broke a record for most games played in the NHL history.
How many?
I have no idea.
I think it was. Let me look it up again.
I say Penguins legend because he played half a season last year in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I was trying to look at Patrick Marleau. I typed in Penguins. 1,768 games. He's 41 years old.
Why are you playing so much? Hockey takes a lot out of you, from what I've heard.
Tom Brady.
Well, Tom Brady isn't getting hit as much as these hockey players are.
He's been playing. He got drafted in 1997.
Oh my god!
And he's still playing.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady for the NHL. Tom Brady.
Send Tom Brady out there to play hockey.
That's insane. Big ups to Patrick Marleau. Or Marleau. I think that's. I mean, other than us talking about our teams, it's NHL news is kind of.
It's kind of self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's hockey. You hit the puck in the net.
Playoff chase happening. We'll probably do predictions when that time comes around.
Or you're losing.
All right, moving on to the baseball news. The MLB, the Pirates are sitting at 7-9. Sorry about that. I had a burp. The Pirates are doing pirate things. We're 7-9. I think we're currently playing right now. The Tigers are trailing the Pirates right now as of an hour ago, 3-2.
We are 8-9. The Phillies are 8-9, and we are tied right now with the Giants, 5-5. End of the 7th.
A retard, wrong game. The Giants play football.
No, the San Francisco Giants.
Reds are 9-6 at the moment. We had a game get suspended last night because it started snowing in the middle of the game.
It's no longer snowing here.
It was raining and snowing last night, and I don't know why, but I was really most of Cincinnati was mad at the umpires because they were like having the rain and sleet come down, and their Reds had the lead, and they were like, "Yeah, keep playing, you're good. You can throw them pitches just fine." And then we were hitting batters and throwing walks and stuff like that, and then we went from winning to losing, and they're like, "All right, we'll call it now." So
good.
No.
Can I get a fuck the Reds?
No.
The 49ers are signing Wayne Gallman, man.
Wayne Gallman?
Yeah. Anyways, Nick Castellanos is now starting a suspension because he tried to appeal it and he lost. He lost his suspension, or he lost his appeal.
Yeah.
So he's now serving a suspension, which is good.
Oh, no. That's the problem with baseball. Look, my man got hyped up and he got suspended for 2 games, and the Astros cheated and they didn't get suspended at all. This is the problem with Major League Baseball.
If you don't know, now you know.
We live in a society, truly.
Same issue with Joe Kelly last year.
Oh, the Pirates just won.
Oh,
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Why?
Don't get used to it.
Why was it only? Oh, it's because it's a doubleheader. It's only seven innings, so they won. Now they play the Tigers later at 6:40.
Sweep the doubleheader.
Why is baseball so many games?
I didn't know baseball was doing doubleheaders this year.
Yeah.
I thought that was only a COVID thing.
No, I think they just did it more with COVID because the season was tough.
Man, I'm not sure. What? Doubleheader games in football?
Sorry, 162 games in a season for the NFL.
Terrible.
The whole team is just decimated.
They would literally have to. There would literally be 2 quarters. They'd stop the game at halftime.
They'd probably play like a quarter, to be honest.
That's just. I don't know if I like that with baseball. I don't know if I like the doubleheaders with 164 games.
I mean, it's not a super physically taxing sport compared to the others.
Just go.
But I think they should have just left that in the COVID era. But I digress and move on to balls that I'm trying to do a segue. I digress into balls that roll around in the grass. The MLS started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go on to basketball.
Literally.
FCC played. We got a draw.
I guess we can touch on the Super League. A lot of teams are, I think all of them, if not a lot of them, are drawing out of the Super League that has been proposed. And Chelsea was the first team to start it, and everybody kind of followed suit.
Yeah, it was a bad idea.
It wasn't good.
They were like, we want more money, and the fans were like, listen,
No.
we keep football, you receive nothing.
Listen, we have a trade. We keep our football in America. We keep our soccer, and you guys just get to keep your money and not make more. We have a deal. And the teams were like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. We're gonna do that. And they were like, withdraw. And the higher ups are like, you're not supposed to be doing this.
You're supposed to be making me more money.
Yeah.
So good for teams backing out. I like that. Now moving on to the final segment of our podcast with the National Basketball Association. MVP race. I'm going to call it now. I think it's locked.
I don't think it's locked. There's still a good bit of season left.
I think it's in the bag. With Jamal Murray tearing his ACL or whatever happened to him, Joker is the MVP. He's going to take. I mean, they got Aaron Gordon. That's awesome. But I think he's going to take that Nuggets team in the playoffs, and I think he will win the MVP.
Yeah. Right now, yes, he's leading the race, but there's still time, and I think for Embiid to get back to that
MVP
leading the race MVP, Jokic just needs to miss some games, and the Nuggets need to not do that well for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? And
what seed are they sitting at right now?
The Nuggies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me Google. I had the NBA standings pulled up, but
Fourth.
Nice. Gavin got upset that they were fourth, and he booked it. Welcome back. We seen you were upset about the standings and booked it.
Why did you get? I said Embiid needs like a few more statement games, like the big performances, and if that happens with the Joker,
I think the Nuggets can take a slight drop in the standings, but not by much, because the Lakers are supposed to be getting AD back. They're only a couple games behind them, and I think LeBron should follow eventually. I think the Lakers could definitely jump past the Nuggets for the 4 seed, but I don't think they can fall any further than that. Nuggets are playing really well, and the Blazers are not playing so hot, and they've got like a 5-game gap between them.
How many games are left in the NBA?
I think about 15, 16-ish.
Because they're playing a full 82, aren't they?
They're playing 72, I think. They're slightly shorter, but not by much.
Yeah, the season's got to be wrapping up here soon.
Sixers have played, what's 39 plus 18? 57? Maybe? 57 games? I think they got 15 games left.
Yeah,
I think they got 15 left.
Got to be wrapping up here soon. So, in my opinion, the top team is going to get knocked out in the West. No matter who, because that Lakers team is going to make playoffs, but it's not going to be at that 1 or 2 seed that everybody thought it was going to be, just simply because AD and LeBron got hurt.
There's too much of a gap between them to make it up, I think, at this point.
Right, there's an 8-game gap between them and first, and a top seed's going to get knocked out by Bron and AD with them at the 5th seed.
Yeah, I agree.
It very well could be the Jazz eventually down the road get knocked out by someone. The Suns could get knocked out. I don't think the Clippers are decent. Nuggets are decent. The Lakers are the Lakers. Trailblazers, playoff Dame is good in the first round. The Mavericks are not. The Mavericks, Grizzlies, Warriors, and Spurs all have a chance of getting into the playoffs as well. And I don't see any of those teams really competing. But it's really going to come down to what team doesn't have to go through LeBron and AD coming to the Western Conference Finals. That's the only time I think a team is going to be able to stand up against them, and it's just which team makes it there or not.
Honestly, low key, at least in the first, I don't think they're going to be a threat deep down the road. But I think those Jazz and Suns teams, they could be a little bit threatened by if the Mavs or the Warriors make it into the first round. I think that could be a trap series. Mavs are playing some of the best basketball since the All-Star break, and Steph is just on another level right now.
Yeah, Steph's playing out of his mind.
I wish the NBA was more competitive.
Yeah,
It's kind of frustrating.
I mean, we're having this conversation in the West about if anyone can maybe upset,
take
but the East, it's like there's no one outside the top 3 who has a shot at anything. You know, it's
No, yeah, the Hawks with Trae Young. I don't think the Knicks are the Knicks still. The Celtics will win 4 and then lose 4. So that's just how.
If the finals are not the Lakers and either the Sixers or the Nets, then I will be legitimately surprised, and that kind of sucks. I wish there was more,
I heard Harden's out indefinitely right now.
Yeah, he had a setback.
I didn't realize it was
whatever the hell indefinitely means, but
I mean, I think I heard people saying from a YouTube video I heard today that a guy was talking. He was saying that at first I think they were kind of thinking, okay, he's going to be back for playoff time. Now I think no one really knows. Obviously, we don't have any timetable on anything, but I think that maybe there's some conversation of, does he come back for the second round? Does he come back for the conference finals? Like I don't know. I don't think, I think there's real concern there.
I don't know. I'm stupid, and I hate it when teams go, yeah, he's out indefinitely. Then if he's out indefinitely, and that means the whole season, say he's out for the season. Don't use indefinitely, because sometimes people go, he's out indefinitely, and then like 2 months down the line they come back. Like clearly he wasn't out indefinitely.
I mean, I think it's just that's just when they literally don't have a time span that they know they're going to be able to be back for. And I think that's kind of what it is with Harden right now.
Indefinitely means for an unspecified period of time.
Well, they need to specify.
Especially since this situation happened with Harden, where it was like he was kind of on the right track, and then he had a setback, which makes it even longer. And KD got hurt again too. I don't think it was as bad, but I'm really starting to be have some suspicions on if the Nets are going to be able to play the playoffs healthy. Because for a while I was thinking, okay, they're just trying to basically load manage because they can just squeak their way into the top 2 seeds. But
no, in my opinion, there's a chance the Nets don't make it to that finals. Simply because now of Harden's injury, KD's been hurt all season. Who knows if Kyrie's going to play a full series? He might have some going on with his family. He might have another personal issue where he takes games off.
I mean,
they already lost. They already lost LaMarcus Aldridge.
Yeah,
they already lost to LaMarcus Aldridge to heart problems. You're going to ask Blake Griffin to, not Blake Griffin, Joe Harris and Blake Griffin to carry that team? It's not gonna happen.
My concern is just I don't think Kyrie's going to skip playoff games for personal stuff, but he has had some injury issues. But it does bring up the question of if Harden's out, KD's in and out, or Kyrie has an injury or something like that, can that team take down the Bucks in the second round? Maybe, considering the Bucks kind of have struggled in the playoffs over the last couple years, but I don't know, man. I'm not sure.
Very interesting, I will say.
Yeah, that was very interesting. This podcast in general was very interesting.
You know what else was interesting?
The fact that Mike Tomlin has not had a losing season.
Yeah. But so is the Overwatch League.
Yeah, I forgot to talk about that.
Overwatch League has never had a losing season.
I'm kidding. Yo, I'm hyped.
Yes.
First weekend happened. I'm so excited now.
First weekend early in the season, but Philly is tied for number 1 in the entire league, not just in the East.
Houston
2-0.
I really expected to be 0-2 after week 1. Dallas has had our number for a while, and we had to play the Shock, and the Shockers just God tier.
Anthony Davis will be back tomorrow against Dallas.
Oh, interesting, if you will.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
I don't know, but I'm excited for Houston now. This weekend we've got Paris and London. I think from what I hear, they're generally not looked at very strongly.
Oh,
granted, Houston wasn't looked at very strongly either, but I think Houston's got a real good shot at clean sweeping the weekend and maybe going into the Melee knockout thing 4-0.
Just watch the Outlaws just lose out the entire rest of the season.
Oh,
again from week 1.
They go Bengals mode and go 2-14 this year.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I don't know how we're gonna do as the game changes with different metas and stuff, because I know that a lot of people are saying that this meta really favors the Outlaws, but I don't think anyone expected them to still
beat the Shock.
With that. And I think I've been impressed with the rookies.
The play where Super got Earth Shattered, or that Earth Shatter came. I forget who the guy on Outlaws is.
Oh, Zhanggu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did he say? Was it where? Or what? Or it was a question word, but it was
wait, what that Super said?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that. I just remember the shatter that won the series where one of the commentators just went, "Oh my god!"
Main tank difference.
And Happy's a god. He's so good. Happy's so good, but
he's so good.
He's so good.
So good. He's so good.
So good.
I don't know what we're talking about, but he's so good.
Happy from Spider-Man.
Happy from Happy Feet, where he does the tings. He takes his feet and he goes.
Yep.
That movie's a horror movie, dude.
we're gonna go ahead and end it off here. I think that was all of our topics, really.
We missed Sirianni.
I don't
The
know.
what?
I don't know Sriracha, so Sirianni. I don't know who Sirianni is. Who's Sirianni?
The Eagles coach.
Oh yes!
I thought you were joking. I thought you were making a
Oh
joke.
my gosh, I'm so stupid. He played rock, paper, scissors. I completely went out of my mind that Doug Peterson is not the head coach there anymore. He played rock, paper, scissors to test people's competitiveness, which is got to be the smartest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because on one hand, that's great. You're testing how competitive people are. On the other hand, you're playing rock, paper, scissors to see who you're gonna draft.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we're basing our evaluations
Yeah, the
off of.
Eagles are a shit show. They don't know who they want at quarterback. They don't know who they want at wide receiver. They're just saying everything's up for grabs. So if you're from practice squad, you might start.
You know that
Unless you lose in rock, paper, scissors, then you're not going to.
I like
Next
the
year,
idea
Ronnie's just a champ at rock, paper, scissors.
with encouraging competition throughout every position.
Yeah,
You gotta keep getting better.
This
Can't
team
be stuck.
is a dumpster fire.
This organization's a dumpster fire. I feel like this team can hit the over on our win prediction.
What's the over? 1?
It's 7.
No.
I feel like we could.
No way you guys hit the over. You guys do have the easiest schedule, I'll give you that, but no way you guys hit the over.
It solely depends on Jalen Hurts, I think.
Yeah.
Where that goes.
I think it depends more on his weapons.
True, but we have a young receiver squad that I feel like is going to. I feel like in this Sirianni offense, it could do a lot better than it did last year.
If
And
you
also
guys
they
don't
have a
draft
year
a
under-
receiver, I don't think you guys.
I was
hit the
going to say
over.
you guys could still nab Devontae Smith
Yes.
because I think he's kind of going down a little bit because I think people are getting really high on Waddle and Chase.
Waddle and Chase
Devontae.
have always been higher than Devontae Smith, in my opinion. But
Yeah, but I think first couple mocks I saw very early in this draft season, I think a couple had Devontae Smith as the number 1 wideout, but then he started moving to the 2, and now I think he's mostly at
It's because
3.
people forgot how good Chase was because he opted out.
Yeah, they're like, all right, let's go look at the film. Oh, yeah, this guy's pretty good at football.
Look at the 2020 film. He didn't play football. Why would we
draft him? But I
Same
mean,
thing with Sewell.
which is so weird because like it's the opposites happening with Sewell and Jamar. Jamar and Sewell both opted out. Jamar is no debate. He's the top receiver in this draft class.
Agreed.
Sewell has been fluctuating between the top O lineman to the third O lineman to the second O lineman. People really have him ranked differently.
I don't think I've
That's a good class. That's such a
It
good
is a
Yeah,
very good class.
I mean, I've seen interchangeable between Sewell and Rashad Slater, but
Yeah,
I
think I've
guess
seen.
third was more of a stretch. But he's kind of fluctuated between 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think I don't see him another tackle getting drafted past. I mean, I'm hoping the Bengals just take him straight up, but if he gets passed on for a different tackle, I could see Slater, but I don't know about after that. But I've seen people have him anywhere from second best player in the draft to getting like picked 14th overall. Like, okay.
We'll see what the league thinks about him when the draft comes around. And don't forget to tune in for the draft special.
Yes, the draft special. I want to also touch on the draft real quick about top players ranked. I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the top prospect in that draft.
No, it's Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, it's 100% Kyle Pitts. Kyle Trask was a terrible quarterback, threw him terrible passes, yet Kyle Pitts said, yoink, yoink, and yoink. He's the top player in the draft. And if solely not based on player needs, if Jacksonville went into this and just needed the tight end, he goes number 1.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Jacksonville needs a quarterback.
You need a quarterback.
Yeah.
I was going to say, as far as the value goes, Lawrence is way above him, but sheer talent-wise, Pitts is just a monster.
Right.
Well, imagine if the Jaguars just don't take Lawrence.
They take Kyle Pitts.
They take Justin Fields.
What if? Now hear me out. What if the Jets don't take Zach Wilson?
I would be very surprised.
What if the Jets pull a Jets and take Mac Jones?
If Mac Jones goes number 2 overall,
Simply because the San
NFL.
Francisco 49ers now hear me out. Simply because the San Francisco 49ers could very well be gaslighting the fuck out of everybody. Saying Mac Jones is great. We want him. And Jets head coach was an ex-49er. He's a defensive guy. He's not a quarterback guru. Kyle Shanahan, quarterback guru. I'm just saying, what if he kind of takes what Kyle Shanahan's saying and goes, maybe this Mac Jones guy is, and what Kyle Shanahan's saying, maybe we nab him before he gets him, just because he.
You already know my opinion. I think Mac Jones is a massive smokescreen across the league.
Hey, hot take. You want a hot take? Mac Jones is a day 3 prospect.
That's the hottest take I've ever heard. That's not hotter than Pittsburgh having losing record, but that's a hot take.
Come on.
And they come full circle. The next time you'll be seeing us is more than likely draft night. Judging by how our schedules line up, we'll try to get another mock draft in here, maybe in the next couple days, but who knows? Schedules are really cramping. Gavin's got a lot of college stuff and a lot of pooping and scooting, and Jacob's got a lot of college stuff, and his car doesn't work, and I got a lot of work, and, and I got a lot of work stuff going on, and and all this other stuff, and so who knows? You'll definitely see us on draft night. We will 100% be here. Nothing is going to affect that. I'm telling everyone I know that I have plans that night, so do not make anything with me on Thursday, the 29th.
Hey, you doing anything Thursday the 29th, Herbert?
No, what do you want to do?
Want to go like Five Guys or something?
Five Guys is disgusting. Burgers.
Yo!
Whoa.
I don't like burgers. We're not getting into this. This isn't a food podcast. But we're going to go ahead and end it here. Tune in. More Food Please podcast.
More Food Please podcast.
This podcast is going to be the longest one we've ever done, aside from the draft night. It's an hour and 11 minutes so far.
And how long?
It's an hour and 11 minutes we've hit so far. That's the longest one.
We've done longer.
We just hit 12. You know, man.
It's on for 3 hours.
I said aside the draft one. But tune in Thursday, April 29th at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. Whatever your local time zone is, to tune in with the draft. We will not have the draft shown, but we'll try to get as close as we can to see the draft and watch it together so none of us are spoiling the picks. I might stream it to Discord so we all watch it together.
That could be a good idea.
I've got YouTube TV, so I can't stream YouTube TV because of copyright issues. We'll find something.
I'll just record my TV with my phone camera.
We'll find something. We got a week to decide it, so we'll tune in. It might be the next time you guys see us. If not, it'll be a mock draft. So we'll see you guys then. Peace.
See ya.
I've got a fucking shit.